Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Promoted Sandra. In today's tutorial, I'll be sharing with you how to cut and sew this trendy A-shape cow neck dress with a tight waistline and also a flace sleeve. So I made mine in black color. You can make use of any color of your choice. If this is something you're interested in, then keep up watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to be using this black fabric. It is called Duchess. I have about 4 yards of Duchess here. You can make use of any fabric of your choice. The first thing I'm going to be doing is to draft a basic back pattern. So I'm going to be marking a straight line like this, which is going to be serving as the starting guide. I will place my tape on this starting line. I will mark my bust point, which is 10 inches, then my half length, which is 16 inches. I will go ahead and mark a straight line across this point. After marking the straight line, I will go ahead and label it. This is my bust point, my waistline. Then I will place my tape on the shoulder line like this. I will divide my shoulder by 2, which is going to give me 7 inches. I will mark it. Then I will come down by 1 inch for shoulder slope. I will mark the wideness of the neckline, which is 3.5 inches, but I will advise you to make use of 3 inches. Then I will come down by 1 inch for the shoulder depth. I will just go ahead and connect it together. I will mark the shoulder slope. To get my chest line, I will divide my bust by 6. Whatever I get, I will add 1.05 to it. So for me, what I got is 7.5 inches. I will just mark a point there. Then I'll mark a straight line across. This is going to be serving as my chest line. So I will just go ahead and mark a straight line for the armhole like this. I will place my tape on this armhole line. I will divide it by 2. I will fold my tape like this. I will mark the midpoint. Then I will place my tape on that midpoint. I will mark ½ inch inward like this. I will place my tape on the chest line. I will divide my bust by 4. I will mark it. So I will go ahead and connect from the shoulder to the ½ inch and to the chest line. So I've already divided my bust and I've already marked it on the chest line. I will come to the waistline. I will divide my waist by 4. I will mark it. So I'll go ahead and connect the points together like this. I will add 2 inches for both ease allowance and sewing allowance. So I will just place my tape on the chest line. I will add 2 inches. Then on the waistline, I will mark 2 inches. So I'll go ahead and connect the points together. I will just connect the armhole like this, then connect the down. After that, I'll go ahead and cut it out. If you feel like I am too fast, then go ahead and watch my tutorial on how to draft a basic bodice pattern. You understand it better. So I've gone ahead to fold my fabric into 2 right side facing each other. I'll mark a straight line, okay, like 1 inch for zip allowance because I'm going to be adding zip to the back part of this dress. I will place my pattern paper on the line I just marked like this. I will go ahead and pin it down. After pinning it, I will place my tape on the waistline. Just watch out how I am placing my tape. I will mark ½ inch outward like this. This is to remove zip bulge. I will go ahead and connect a slant line from the top to the down. Then I will also connect it like this. There is no special measurements, okay? I'll just go ahead and connect it. I will place my tape on the shoulder. I will mark my hip line, which is 26 inches. I will mark 26 inches like this. Please pay attention to what I'm about to do. I will go ahead and cut out the excess fabric. This is really disturbing me. My table is not as big as it ought to be. I will place my tape on the hip line. I will mark 6 inches downward. This is where I want my A-shape line to start from. So go ahead and take your own measurement wherever you want to start from, then mark it. I will place my tape on the shoulder. I will mark the full length of the dress, which is 58 inches. I will just mark a straight line across like this. The remaining part, I will not cut it out. It's going to be serving as the folding allowance. So I will place my tape on the hip line. I will divide my hip by 4. I will mark it. Then I will add 2 inches sewing allowance like this. I will place my tape on the hip line. I will retake the measurement I took earlier. So I will mark 7.5 inches. I will not be using that first 6 inches I marked earlier. I will go ahead and mark a straight line across this 7.5 inches. Then I will measure what I have on this pattern paper, the waistline. I will measure it. What I have there is about 11 inches. I will mark it on that line where I want my A-shape line to start from. Then I'll go ahead and connect from the waistline to the hip, from the hip to the, I will be calling it the knee line, okay? I will come to the hemline. I will take the measurements I have at the down, starting from the zipper allowance. What I have here is about 18 inches. So this is wide enough for the dress. If you want to make use of 20 inches, that is fine. I will mark a slant line from the hemline to the knee line, okay, like this. Then I'll just go ahead and blend this curve here. Then I'll go ahead and cut it out, just like as you can see me doing. I will add half inch to the shoulder for journey allowance and half inch to the neckline. So guys, I'm done with the back part of this dress. The next part I'm going to be working on is the front part. So for the front part, I'm going to be using the splash and spread method. So I'm going to cut through the chest line like this, close to the end. Okay, I will not cut out everything. So just watch out how I am going to be cutting it. Close to the end, don't cut out everything. Then I'll go ahead and fold my fabric into two. Please pay attention to what I'm about to say. So for the folding of this fabric, remember I said I bought 4 yards and the length is by 16. Now for the cutting of the back part, all I did was to fold my fabric into two and make use of the full length, which was 60 inches, right? Now for the front part, it's not going to work like that. I'm not going to fold it into two because the length I'm going to be using for the front part of this dress is going to be more than 67 inches. So how do I fold my fabric so that it will be enough for me to cut the front? So what I did was to fold it the other way around. I hope you guys understand. Instead of folding it straight, I just wanted to fold the other side. It's just like Ankara when you want to sew your bobo, how you normally fold it to get your 60 inches length. And that was how I folded this Duchess so that it will be long enough for me to cut the front. I hope you guys understand. So as you can see, my fabric is folded into two. I will place my tape at the top of the fabric. I will measure 10 inches downward. I will just mark a straight line across. So guys, snipper has seized the light. So after marking a straight line across, I will place my pattern paper on it like this. Just make sure it's aligned on the line you mark on your fabric. So I'll go ahead and pin it down just like as you can see me doing. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to gently raise up the front part like this. The upper part has pulled off. So I'll just raise it up like this. I will place my tape at this point. I hope you guys can see where I am placing the tip of my tape. So go ahead and measure 6.5 inches or 7 inches upward or to its end here. For me, I made use of 7.5 inches and the cleavage was too deep. So I will just mark a point there like this. Then I'll go ahead and pin it down like this. Please pay attention to this part. I did something wrong and I will be correcting it. So for me, I wanted to mark a straight line from the neckline like this, right? So I'm going to be correcting it. Don't cut out your own like this. The reason why I did this was because I wanted to achieve something new. But at the end of the day, I messed it up. So when you are cutting your own, just go ahead and add half-inch journey allowance. So I'll go ahead and cut out the armhole. But I'm going to be showing you guys how to cut it out. I just wanted to finish up with this so that you guys will understand. So after cutting it, I'll go ahead and bring down the upper part so that I can take the full measurement of this dress. I will place my tape on the shoulder line like this. I will mark my hip line, my knee line, and the hem line, okay? All the measurements I use at the back is what I'm going to be using for the front. The same thing, no difference. Just go ahead and divide your hip by 4, mark it and add 2 inches allowance. Then go to the knee line, measure the waistline on your pattern paper, mark it, which is 11 inches, mark it on it. Then the hemline, the wideness is 18 inches. Just go ahead and connect all the points together and blend the sharp edge, okay? So once I was done, I'll go ahead and cut it out like this. So after cutting it out, I'm about to show you guys what I said I'm going to be showing you before on how to cut the upper part of your cow neck, okay? Don't use the same method I use. So go ahead and raise your pattern paper up like this, okay? After placing it like this on your fabric, place your tape, place your ruler from the shoulder, not from the neckline, from the shoulder. Go ahead and mark a straight line like this to the end like this. Just mark a straight line. Then go ahead and cut it out. When cutting it out, add half-inch for journey allowance. I hope you guys understand. It's very easy. Just mark a straight line from the shoulder, not from the neckline. Just mark it from the shoulder straight to the end. I hope you guys understand. So what I'm going to be doing next is to go ahead and fold this piece of fabric into two and cut out the lining for this cowl neck. So guys, I'm done cutting out the lining. I will just go ahead and open up the dress like this, then place the lining on it, right side facing each other. I will pin it. Before pinning it, please take note of your shoulder so that you will not mistakenly sew your shoulder. So for me, this is my shoulder. I will just mark it out to check so that I don't mistakenly sew it. This is the shoulder. Then I'll go ahead and mark the other part. I'll just go ahead and mark the other side like this. Then I will take to the same machine. I will sew it with 1/2 inch from this point to this point here. So guys, I'm done sewing it. This is how it look like. You can go ahead and top stitch on the lining if you want to. So if you don't also want to top stitch, no problem. So I'll go ahead and arrange it like this and iron it out. So for me, I like the back and the front to be equal. I don't want one part to be showing, then the other part, I just want the two parts to be equal. So I'll go ahead and iron it out. I'll give it a very good press, then open it on my table like this and iron it. So after I was done ironing it, I'll go ahead and pin the armhole together. I will pin the shoulder. I will pin the other side. Then I will take it to the same machine. I will sew the armhole like this. I will sew the shoulder just to secure it. So I'll also pin this other side. So whatever I do for the front is what I'm going to be doing for the back. I will also go ahead. So guys, I'm done sewing it. I will just go ahead and iron the front like this. So once I was done ironing it, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to sew the back together. So for the neckline of the back, as you can see, I've gone ahead to turn it, and I've also gone ahead to sew it, just like as I did for the front. So what I'm going to be doing next is to go ahead and sew the back together. So I will place one or the other one, right side facing each other. I will just pin it down. So for the zip on this dress, if you check the dress, you're going to see that there is no zip. But for me, I'm just adding zip because of the nature of the hair I made. Okay, so for the zip, I'm just going to measure from the neckline to 18 inches. I'm not going to be using 20 inches or 24 inches. I will just mark 18 inches like this. I hope you guys can hear me. Then I will take to the same machine and sew it down. So for the down part, instead of sewing it straight, I just decided to mark a slant line from where the zip is going to end to the hem of the dress. Okay, instead of marking it straight, I just wanted to mark a slant line downwards. So it's going to have something like a fishtail, but not long fishtail. So guys, I'm done sewing it. After sewing it, I wanted to sew zip on it. So I thought that part is going to show, but it didn't show in this video. I didn't see the clip. So I'm just doing the zip. This is how it look like, as you can see. So after I was done sewing it, I went ahead to iron it out. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to join the front and the back together. So I will pin the shoulder of the front to the shoulder of the back like this. I will pin it down. Then I will also go ahead and pin the other side. So after pinning it, I will go ahead and pin the sides just like as you can see me doing. Just go ahead and arrange it and pin it down. Place your tape on the shoulder of your dress like this. Measure your half length. So mine is 16 inches. I've already marked it out on my dress as you can see. So I'll just go ahead and extend the line to this other side. I'll also go ahead and extend the hip line and the knee line. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and shaping my dress. I will place my tape on the waistline like this. I will mark 1.5 inch. Then I will come to the other side. I will also mark 1.5 inch like this. Then I will come to the hip line. I will mark 1.5 inch. On the chest line, 1.5 inch. Then I'll go ahead and connect it like this. Okay. So I want to use 1.5 inch to shaping this dress. So for you, you can make use of 1 inch or 1.5 inch. Then I'll go ahead and blend the shape. Like I will just go ahead and blend it like this. I will place my tape on the knee line. I will mark a slant line from the hemline to the knee line just to give us that H shape reflection or H shape. I hope you guys understand, Sha. So I'll also go ahead and mark the other side. Before I sew the dress, I'll first of all go ahead and cut out the loop for the back, okay, because there's lacy at the back. So I'm going to be using this tiny piece of fabric. The wideness is about 1 inch. So I'll go ahead and fold this part in like this. I'll fold the other side in. Then I'll fold it into two. I'll go ahead and top stitch at the top. So guys, I'm done sewing it. I will just go ahead and measure 5 inches. I will cut it out. Then I'll measure another 5 inches. I will cut it out. I will be using just 4 pieces of loop for this dress. So I will pick this one. I will fold it into two. Then you see this part that is closed. Just go ahead and open the waistline like this. Can you see how I am opening it? Then place it inside. Use your hand to secure it. Then use your pin to pin it down. Just make sure the two of them are lapping each other very well. So as you can see, I pinned the first one on the waistline. So I will place my tape on the waistline. I will measure 1.5 inch upward. So on that line I just marked, I will pick another one, fold it into two. Then I will open the dress like this, place it inside, then I will pin it down. And also you can use your hand to feel it just to know if one is longer than one. Then I'll go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. So guys, after placing it on the other side, I will just mark like 2 inches downward from the armhole area, okay, before taking it to the same machine to sew. So I will take it to the same machine. I will sew through the line I marked. After I was done sewing it, this is how it looked like. I will just keep it aside. So guys, I went ahead to cut out this long stripe for the lace at the back. The length is more than one tape, because I also went ahead to add extra 15 inches and sew to it. Then the wideness is about 1 inch. So what I will be doing is to fold the tip in with 1/2 inch, then fold it like this, fold it like this, fold it into two. I will take it to the same machine. I will top stitch on it. Then I will also go ahead and fold the tip. Okay. So guys, I'm done sewing it. This is how it look like. I will just go ahead and use it to lace the dress like this. So once you are done lacing it, this is how it will look like. I will just go ahead and remove the rope like this. I will just go ahead and remove the rope. So I will go ahead and open up my dress like this. I will cut at the excess at the shoulder and also at the armhole. So go ahead and arrange your dress, cut out any excesses on it. So once I was done with that, I will go ahead and cut out the sleeve for the dress. So first of all, just like I can see me doing, I will fold my material into two like this. Then I will refold it into two again, because I'm going to be cutting out the two sleeve at once. So after folding it, I will have 4 pieces. I will just go ahead and mark a straight line at the top, which is going to be the starting guide. Then I will pin my sleeve pattern on it. Okay, I already have a tutorial on how to draft a basic sleeve. In case you don't know how to draft it, go ahead and watch the video. I'll be linking it at the description section. After pinning it down, I will place my tape on the line I mark. I will measure how long I want my sleeve to be. So for me, I want the sleeve to be 25 inches, including sewing allowance. So I will just mark it like this. Then I'll go ahead and mark a straight line across like this. Then after marking it, I will come to this part here, the armhole area. We add 1.5 inch sewing allowance. So I actually forgot that I already added sewing allowance to the pattern paper while I was drafting it then. So if you already added it to your pattern paper, no need to add any other one. Then I will come to the hemline. I will measure level inches. That is how wide I want the down parts to be, level inches. I will come to the elbow line. I will add 1 inch sewing allowance. Then I'll go ahead and connect from the armhole to the elbow, then from the hemline to the elbow line. Then I'll go ahead and curve it like this to remove the sharp edge. Then I'll go ahead and cut it out just like as you can see me doing. After cutting it, I will come to these down parts. I will just mark 1/2 inch upward to remove that sharp edge. I will just curve it like this. Then I will cut it out. I will remove the pattern paper. I will notch the tip like this. Then once I'm done, I will take it to the sewing machine. I will fold it down like this. I will fold it the second time. Then I will just go ahead and sew it. I will do the same thing for the other one. So guys, I'm done sewing it. What I'm going to be doing next is to pin the middle of the sleeve to the shoulder of the dress like this. I will just pin it down. I will pin it to one side. Then I will also go ahead and pin the other one. After pinning it, I will take it to the sewing machine. I will sew it with 1/2 inch like this to one end, and then sew the other side. After sewing the shoulder, I will go ahead and sew the dance part of the sleeve to the armhole area. So guys, I'm done sewing it. This is just me lacing the back of the dress. Okay, this is how it look like. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys on my next video. Bye.